All right, we're going to go over warm-up number 5, which you should have done today, which is Friday, September 11th. So let's quickly start with the first one here. Solve the following. Letter A, 2.91 times 0.5. So when you're doing multiplication problems with decimals, just treat it as if there were no decimals at first. So I'm going to treat this problem as 291 times 5. We will worry about the decimals here in a little bit. So I'm going to do 5 times 1, which is 5. 5 times 9, which is 45, so I'm going to put a 5 down here, carry my 4 over there, and then 5 times 2, which is 10, plus 4 is 14. And then all I have to do is look back at the original problem and see how many decimal places there were at the beginning. So I see that there's 2 spots after the decimal here. I see that there's 1 spot after the decimal here. So altogether I have 3 spots to the right of the decimal. So I start here, and then I go 1, 2, 3, and that's where my decimal goes. So your answer should be 1.455, or a better way to say that would be 1 and 455 thousandths. Over here we have letter B, 62 times 19 hundredths. So instead I'm going to treat this as 62 times 19. So I'm going to go 9 times 2 first, which is going to be 18, carry my 1. 9 times 6, which is 54, plus my 1 is 55. Now I'm going to worry about my 1, so then 1 times 2, I'm going to leave a little spot here. 1 times 2 is 2. 6 times 1 is 6. Then I'm going to add those together. 8 plus 0 is 8. 5 plus 2 is 7. 6 plus 5 is 11. I only have 2 spots after the decimal point here to the right, so I just have to bring that decimal over 2, and my answer is 11 and 78 hundredths. All right, if you have any questions about multiplying decimals, send me an email and I can help you out a little bit more. Now, dividing decimal is also kind of similar and a little bit different in a way too. So if I'm doing one like this, where I have a whole number on the outside, all I have to do on the inside is just move that decimal up to the spot that's right above the decimal where it's at already. Okay, so then I can just leave it there. So I'm going to do it just like a normal division problem. So 7 into 4, well, it doesn't work, so I'm going to leave a space there. Can I do 7 into 43? Yes, I can. 7 goes into 43 how many times? 6 times. So that I'm going to put 42. 43 minus 42 equals 1. Bring down the 4. 7 goes into 14. Remember, there's a decimal here. So it's 6 point. 7 goes into 14 twice. So my final answer is 6.2, or 6 and 2/10. Okay? I know it might be a little confusing, but we can do this. All right? Now, when you see a decimal on the outside of your division problem and on the inside of your division problem, then you have to worry about it a little bit earlier. So I'm just going to move the decimal over 2 spots, which is kind of like multiplying it by 100. But I'm going to move that decimal point over 2 spots here. I'm also going to move this decimal point over 2 spots, because if I do it to this one, I also have to do it to this one. So if I move it over 2 spots, really this just turns into 14 divided by 392. Okay? And the decimal then would be way over here in the end. So let's just treat this now like a normal division problem. 14, does it go into 3? No, it does not. Does 14 go into 39? Yes, it does. 14 goes into 39 twice. 14 times 2 is 28. Make that a subtraction problem. 9 minus 8 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. Bring down my 2. 14 goes into 112 how many times? This is where it might have got a little complicated, because you might not know if it goes in evenly or things like that. So if you actually did the problem and you figured it out, 14 goes into 112 exactly 8 times. Okay? So since it went exactly 8 times, our final answer is 28, because we just bring this down here and this equals out to 0. All right, very last one here on the warm-up. It says 2 products are listed on sale this week. Brand A is priced at $15.89, and brand B is priced at $17.37. All right, so I'm actually going to bring that down, since that's a smaller number. $17.37. Okay, it says how much more is brand B than brand A? Okay, so all I have to do is subtract these to see what the difference is between the prices. So if I set this up as a subtraction problem, a little bit. There we go. 1737 minus 1589. We're going to keep that decimal here in that same spot. It carries down. Okay, 7 minus 9, can't do it. Make that a 2, which turns into 17 minus 9, which is going to give us 8. 2 minus 8, can't do it. Carry this. This turns into 12 minus 8, which is going to be 4. 6 minus 5 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So the difference in price is $1.48. If you have any questions about the warm-up, get a hold of me. Make sure you have those answers recorded down.